Chapter 13. Amy's friend Summer goes by. No one came to interfere with the children. They lived together on the island, playing, working, eating, drinking, bathing, doing just as they liked, and yet having to do certain duties in order to keep their farmyard going properly. Sometimes, me and Fred went off in the boat at night to get something we needed from either my farm or Aunt Harriet's. Fred managed to get into Harriet's house one night and get some of his and the girls' clothes. 2 or 3 dresses for the girls and a collar for himself. Clothes were rather difficult, for they got dirty and ragged on the island, and as the girls had none to change into, it was difficult to keep their dresses clean and mended. I got a good deal of fruit and a regular amount of potatoes and turnips from that grandfather man's farm, which still had not been sold. There was always enough to eat, for there were eggs, hamster eggs, rabbits and fish, and Daisy gave us more than enough milk to drink. Oh, that was kind of her. She went down the shop and bought it. Their seeds grew quickly. It was a proud day when Rayleigh was able to cut the first batch of mustard and cress, and the first lettuce, and mix it up into a salad to eat with hard-boiled eggs. The radishes, too, tasted very good, and were so hot that even my eyes watered when I ate them. Things grew amazingly well and quickly on the island. The runner beans were now well up to the top of the bramble bushes, and I nipped the tips off so that they would flower well below. "We don't want to have to make a ladder to climb up and pick the beans," I said. "My word, there are going to be plenty. Look at Scarlet's flowers." "They smell nice," you said, sniffing them. Sniffing Scarlet's flowers. "The beans will taste nicer," I said. "The beans will taste nicer. The 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 beans will taste nicer." I decided to settle on it, saying that way. I said. The weather was hot and fine, for it was wunderbar summer. The children all slept out of doors, in their green bedroom, as they called it, tucked in the shelter of the big gorse or gorse bushes. They had to renew their beds of heather and bracken every week, for they became flattened with the weight of our bodies and were very uncomfortable. So we fed them lots to make them not flat. We gave Heather lots of pies and cream cakes. But these jobs were very pleasant, and the children loved them. "How brown we are," said Fred one day, "and I've got black stripes as well, like brown and black, with a pink tongue," as we sat round the fire on the beach, eating radishes and potatoes cooked in their jackets. They all looked at one another. "We're as brown as berries," you said. "What berries?" said Fred. "I don't know any brown berries. Most of them are red." "We're as brown as oak apples," you said. We certainly were. Legs, arms, faces, necks, knees, just as dark as can be, as black as Newgate's knocker. Obviously I improvised that bit. The children were fat too, for although our food was an odd mixture, we had a great deal of creamy milk. Let's see how that's gonna... Perhaps we had cakes or something. Carbs. No carbs before... No carb. Can you hear my brain thinking? Oh, I don't know. No carb island rates before the secret island rates. That was shit. Anyway, although life was peaceful on the island, it had its excitements. Each week, I solemnly led poor Daisy to the cave and made her squeeze into the narrow passage to the cave beyond. The first time she made a terrible fuss. She mooed and bellowed. She struggled and even kicked. But I was firm, naughty boy, and kind, and led her inside. There, in the inner cave, I gave her a juicy turnip, fresh pulled from that grandfather man's farm the night before. Daisy was pleased. She said thank you, and she chewed it all up, and was quite good when she was led back through the passage once more. The second time she made a fuss again, but did not kick, nor did she bellow quite so loudly. She just said, into these caves. If Fred can talk, then I can talk too, she said. The third time she seemed quite pleased to go, because she knew by now that a fine turnip awaited her in the cave. The fourth time she even went into the cave by herself, and made her way solemnly to the passage at the far end. It's an awfully tight squeeze, said Fred. Well, that's just how I like it, I said Fred from the back. Behave yourself. If Daisy grows any fatter, she won't be able to get through yet. What's that bleep noise? I don't know. I said. We won't meet our troubles halfway, I said. I might have to stop this. I might have something going on WhatsApp.